Hello and welcome to the 2025 Qatar Airways Ironman Hamburg European Championship. Due to a significant storm system that passed through Hamburg this morning, the start times have been pushed back. The pro start will now be at 7 a.m. local time, and the age group start will be at 7:10 a.m. local time. It's still lightly raining right now, but we will still be having a full race here today. And are we in for a great race today with the much anticipated rematch of reigning Ironman World Champion Laura Philipp, current Ironman course record holder Kat Matthews, along with a host of other superstars just waiting to put their own stamp on this incredible sport. I'm Marina Carfrey, and I'm joined by Ironman World Champion and Olympic silver medalist. The accolades go on and on with this one, the one and only Mikili Jones. MJ, great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Rini. I definitely am probably as nervous as the competitors waiting for that start. I mean, it's an unbelievable field today. We actually have 3 of the fastest women ever on the start line. And I definitely think their preparations were slightly different, having that delay. So maybe thinking about a little more nutrition, changing their warm-up strategy a little slightly because of the conditions. But it looks like we're in for a great day.
Yeah, Marjolaine Pierre on screen right now. She won Aix-en-Provence just a couple of weeks ago. She is lining up for her 3rd Ironman. And let's take a look at the Roca weather. It's 62 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 17 Celsius, and of course overcast clouds with that thunderstorm rolling through, but humidity is high, 94% MJ. So winds are low as well. So the athletes right now, definitely high humidity in their final preparations before the race start.
And that's actually going to make them a little bit warmer as well. Being in their wetsuits, that's going to help as they get ready and prepare to get in that water. But yeah, the water temperature is slightly warmer right now than the air temperature. And with that wind being down, it's still going to be quite a fast course.
Yeah, I mean, this course is incredibly fast. 2 of the fastest ever times recorded on this course, Jackie Herring last year and Laura Philipp. And then, of course, Kat Matthews taking that time down in Texas earlier this year. Welcome into the studio. I'm Marina Carfrey again, joined by the one and only Mikili Jones. And yeah, we are excited for today's race. We have some incredible women lining up and a very fast course ahead.
Yeah, and don't forget that was Kat Matthews that we saw the Roca swim boys as they head off right now. But you saw that Kat Matthews was like sitting on the outer edge of that swim start line. So it looks like we have the 2 outer ends that's going to be the fastest paced athletes right now.
Yeah, it does look like it. And the ladies are away at the 2025 Qatar Airways Ironman Hamburg European Championship. They have a 2.4-mile swim ahead of them. They're in the opening 100 meters or so of this race, and it does look like the outside 2 athletes are the fastest. I'm going to say, well, one of them is a yellow cap. That's got to be Kat Matthews. I think she's far left. If we get a closer view, we'll be able to call that other name on.
And you can see Jackie Herring is now trying to make a move. She's actually gone out of the draft, and she's chosen a slightly different line. So perhaps, she was thinking that the pace needed to be picked up. Definitely someone like Jackie, she wants to have less people around her for sure. I mean, she's definitely strong on the run. I think her bike, would probably be a little bit of the weakest link. Not to say it's weak, but she has definitely decided that she needs to attack, and she's attacking, and she's making up some good ground because she was 4th or 5th back. So definitely whatever's gone through her mind, she's decided that she needs to get out and do something. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see her taking over the lead in the next few minutes.
And I'm going to guess that that's Solveig Lothsek with Jackie Herring on the right. I think Laura Philipp might have been popped off the back of this little group. She was sitting in here earlier. But again, I'm just guessing those 3 women in pink. We have 2 of the 3 in this group right now.
And I mean, that's one of the things when you are swimming a 2.4-mile swim, it's the stronger athletes will just get stronger and stronger as the race goes on. And as if that's the case that Laura Philipp has dropped off on the back of this pack, that would be one of the reasons. I mean, these athletes usually swim all around the same times. They're pretty consistent. And as we've talked about, having a sort of swimmer in this race. I think that's what we're seeing. It's, it's a small pack. And it was interesting, really, because they were sort of like 3 abreast. And then we saw Jackie Herring again get aggressive. We saw her trying to be aggressive not too long ago, going from the 4th position, trying to work her way up the front. And I think this is probably in the best interest of Kat, because she did a lot of work for 25 minutes. And now she gets the opportunity to sort of take a breath, relax a little bit, settle into probably a slightly different rhythm.
I think that's Laura Phillip there.
Oh, that's
so.
Yeah.
If that is Laura Phillip, she is hanging in, having a great swim. I think that might be Marjolaine and Laura Phillip in the pink caps.
Yeah, it's interesting because they were swimming quite high in the water just then, the 2 swim caps. So perhaps they're like struggling a little bit, because obviously Jackie's gone to the front and up the pace again. And I like how Kat Matthews is just sitting on the outside of her feet, and now she's starting to move up into actually the fastest position. But I think, again, like Kat's thinking that, the pace has dropped back a little bit. So now you have 2 swimmers side by side really being super aggressive. And I think, again, these 2 athletes realize that, we've got to push the pace. We've got to make a difference. Particularly, when we were listening to what Kat said, she doesn't want Laura to be around. And I'm sure when she sort of slipped back, I'm sure she had a little glance over her shoulder to see actually who was with her. She's the fastest athlete in the world right now. And I mean, that's, as I said, we just talked about confidence. It's like, obviously she has great form. Has she recovered from Ironman Texas?
I mean, that's the question, right?
Yeah,
5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, some athletes have no problem recovering. Me, on the other hand, take a lot longer.
You and me both.
But it's, one of those things. Oh, what's happening now? Oh, is she telling them?
It looked like she's like, you know what? Someone else lead. That was a cheeky little move.
I
don't know if she wanted to adjust her wetsuit. She sort of put her hands to the front, but I think she kind of.
Or were they swimming on her feet? And she's like.
I think it looked like she was smiling when she turned around. I was like, okay, someone else have a turn now. I don't know. It didn't seem aggressive or angry. It just seemed like, all right, somebody else have a turn, which was different to what we were thinking. The mindset of Kat said to me when, Jackie went to the front and then she just went back around her was that, no, I'm going to time trial this thing. But, just now it seemed like she kind of turned around and, had a word. I'm sure no one heard what she said because everyone's head's sort of underwater underneath a cap. But it looked like she had a little grin on her face. I'll be interested to sort of find out what that was about later on. But again, it is a long day and these ladies know each other so well.
Kat Matthews is not going to be slowing down. I mean, she's already been super aggressive in this swim. She's been at the front most of the time. And if that is Laura Phillip right in there in the pack, fantastic for her as well, because, she came into this race. She knew that she had to have a good swim. And I actually did get to talk to Laura a little bit earlier. And, she said, she changed her approach a little bit. She spent a lot of training the last few weeks in Germany. She hasn't done a lot of her key sessions that she usually does yet. But she's also excited to see where her fitness is. We saw her race last week. But, again, her big goal is, as she said, is to peak in Hawaii.
Yeah, she's definitely trying to build through her season. And that's what we saw her do so beautifully last year and peak for Nice. And I think that's what it takes. You have to set your season up around the World Championship event in order to have your best performance there. And when we talk about peaking, it's 1 or 2 times a year that the athletes can truly peak. In your experience, MJ, how hard was the double peak? Almost impossible.
No, and I mean, that's the thing with the Pro Series now. It's like some athletes are going to choose to maybe peak, but some athletes are going to choose just to have like a sort of a steady sort of rhythm to their training. But Laura Phillip did also say, I am not expecting anything magical yet, but I think it's pretty magical that if that's her, where we think she is, we're about to get the splits come out, that would be a pretty magical swim coming from her.
Yeah, so you see Kat Matthews out of the swim. That's Solveig Lovseth. That is
Laura Phillip.
Laura Phillip right
Yep.
there. And Jackie Herring out in fourth. So an incredible swim from Laura Phillip sitting right in that group. These really are all of our favourites. We have a couple, Annie Reichman back in the field, Marjolaine Pierre as well, a little bit back in the field. Surprising not to have Marjolaine. And as we look at the Wahoo Element rival official swim time, 54:38. So 54 was your guess. MJ, you got that right for Kat Matthews. That was the 2.4 mile or 3.8 kilometre swim. But we have 4 women now in the transition zone, in the Ruby transition zone. It's a 700 metre run. And look at the crowds, MJ. And that's what I love so much about Germany. The people come out, and they come out in force. And we're seeing our 5th place woman get out of the water right now, and that's Johanna Ahrens from Germany. I'm sure she'll get a big cheer as she comes through this massive crowd of people. But yeah, just the streets are lined with spectators. They'll come out and they'll watch all day long. And it's just such a treat as an athlete to be able to race in front of adoring fans.
Not only
Jackie
that,
Herring on screen right now.
Laura Phillip being the German.
And Laura, of course, yeah.
Being
Laura
the German, when the German crowd, the German local, it's like, and being up front, I mean, didn't really expect that at the beginning if we were going through the strategies for these athletes. But as we said, you know, having a slightly weaker swim field in terms we didn't have a specialist swimmer, I think that's definitely enabled them to do that.
Yeah, we look on the right screen, that's Marjolaine Pierre. That was the other pink cap that we weren't sure if she was in that pack. We expected her to be in the front group, but she was just a little down, and we see the ladies now in transition. Solveig Lovseth, fastest out of transition right now. She was incredible just a few weeks back, and Venice Giassolo winning that race and running a 1:16 off a 2:06 bike. So she is dangerous, and this is her first Ironman. So really interested to see how she handles the full distance race and
that short scored speed and transitions, like it's paying up. But like, look behind. I mean, nobody's like taking their time in this transition. It's like you can see Laura and Jackie right in the background, as well as Kat Matthews coming through. I think Jackie Herring has just lost a little bit of time, because that definitely looks like
Kat and Laura.
The cat and the mouse game.
Yeah. Who's the cat, though? We'll have to wait and see.
And we just saw Marjolaine go
Pierre,
through the transition, grabbing her gear. But I think we're in for a treat. I mean, these two are just going to stick side by side to side. I don't think either one of these athletes can break each other on the bike. That's like a big point right now, but I don't know, Rinny, do you think either one of these girls have an advantage on that bike?
I mean, I think the way Kat Matthews raced in Texas was another level Kat. Again, Laura Phillip, one of the best bikers in our sport, she caught up to Kat in Nice, but that was a hilly course.
Yes.
I think Kat has the upper hand on a flat course, but Kat also already has an Ironman, in her legs. 5 weeks ago, I'm sure she, historically, she's been able to back up races and perform time and time again. I feel like she kind of has the upper hand, but Laura Phillip
raced last weekend.
And she raced, but as you mentioned earlier, she raced a 70.3 and she had a few minutes, and so she would have been able to sort of race within herself. I did see Kat take a peek over her shoulder and take a good look at Laura Phillip, and all right, yep, she's here. We're locked in a battle, and this is going to be a fierce battle today. And looking at Jackie Herring, she's already lost about 47 seconds in the first 7 or 8 kilometres. So these ladies are not wasting any time at the start of this bike. Jackie, of course, came out of the water with the lead 3. So it was a group of 4 out of the water. Jackie was just a little slower through transition, but now she's sitting in 4th place, just off the back of these 3 women.
We just saw Kat Matthews speed past.
She looked a little frustrated. You saw her come around Laura Phillip, and she kind of like took a look at Laura. I don't know if she said any words, but she sort of seemed a little bit frustrated. And I think, we saw her AFC episode while she was in the swim, and, her goal was to swim away from Laura and then, put more time into the bike and never see her at all day. And I think she's going to be seeing her a lot all day long. I think that's fine. Kat will be game on, bring it on. Let's do this. And you see all the roads are a little bit full of water. So this is where I would be nervous because when it's wet like this, flat tires generally happen more often. We had, a delayed start by 45 minutes this morning because we had a significant thunderstorm, some significant weather roll through the area. So the athletes were delayed 45 minutes, and we're seeing the effects of that with the wet roads here now. Hopefully it looks like the rest of the day will be clearer, so perhaps on the second lap it'll be a little bit clearer. But when I see wet roads, it makes me a little nervous for flat tires and things like that. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I probably shouldn't have said that because now maybe I'll jinx someone, but that's something that I would be concerned about. Oh, her computer's falling off. Solveig Lovset? Something's falling off.
Yeah.
Oh, her aero bar has fallen off.
Oh.
Something has fallen off in the front of her bike, but it's not good news for Solveig Lovset.
And Kat Matthews is going to take
Doesn't care.
full advantage of that. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, not her problem.
Yeah. She's like, okay, thanks. See ya.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what I was trying to listen in to what was going on, but that was Solveig Lovseth.
But
I'm wondering if it's broken. If it's broken, then this is what she has to deal with for the rest of the bike. If it's not broken and she needs help, I absolutely would stop. I think you lose a minute, 2 minutes, probably more like two to 3 minutes with, tightening that bolt down.
Yeah, because you've got to know what size bolt. The mechanic's going to have to know what size bolt, and it's not an industry standard. One bolt fits everything. So knowing what that Allen key size is, normally you probably have to take off the actual pad part of the arm rest.
It's going even further sideways. So I think at least she's got a good attitude about it.
Yeah. Rini, what would you ride one arm aero, or would you stay on your base bar if you were in this situation?
I would do what she's doing. You've got to tuck as much as possible. when you're sitting up, you're just you're throwing watts away. You have to push just more watts to sit in that upright position. So I would get as low as I could. Hang in there. It seems like it's continuing to sort of drop to the side, and a couple of times she's tried to pull it back around. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see if we can hear. It looks like maybe she is pulling off now. Okay, now she did find the mechanic. Okay, maybe this is something that can be fixed.
And I think she's riding so strong, there is a possibility that maybe she can get back.
So let's put a timer on this.
Yeah, they've got the Allen key out. They're tightening it up. So maybe it's not broken. Maybe it was just an Allen key. But they are taking some time to try to fix it.
And these, as the seconds
just came
tick by,
off.
you see, oh, nope.
Did it just come off?
Okay, no, she was able to turn it back around. So it was a loose
bolt,
and she's turned it back around.
But look how calm she is. She's like, I'm sure her heart is beating significantly. But yeah, we'll probably
This is not too bad. I'm looking at 50 seconds from when she stopped. That's not bad for a mechanical that looked like it was game ending.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take her a while if she can catch up. 50 seconds, it's quite a few miles that she's going to have to really put her head down. And she's then got to decide whether she's committed to riding a little bit harder to try to get back with that group. It's going to take her a while, like 50 seconds. I would assume it might even take her like 20 miles to get back on.
It depends. Does she, because in her little 0.8 of a kilometre or a half a mile behind these two women. And this is Jackie Herring. No, a mechanical from Jackie Herring. It looks like, I'm not sure. I don't know what the problem is, but that is not good news for Jackie Herring. I don't know if hopefully we can get a replay and see what she was fixing. But I don't know if it was a flat tire and she was putting a little more air in, or if it was something to do with her rear bottle cage, but it was something in the back, and now it seems like she's, back on course and riding along okay. But that is a blow for Jackie Herring. She was in a really great position with that group. I mean, it's not game over by any means, but just not ideal. I mean, it's never ideal to have a mechanical at any stage of the race, whether you're leading on your own with a group, but here we go.
There's something on her tyre? Something.
It looks like she was padding her tyre, so I'm wondering if there was something on the tyre, like it was bumping along, or did she put... That's a CO2. So I'm wondering if she lost some air, and then maybe she was trying to look and see if there were...
Maybe it didn't seal very quick. Maybe that was the issue. Maybe she did get a puncture, and then...
and she needed to top it up. But she might have been looking to see if there was like something sticking out of the wheel, like she went over like a piece of glass or some sort of tack. But again, just not what you'd love to see. That was it. Jackie, of course, in the pole position. She is our defending champion from here, and yep, it looks like she's riding on a flat.
And that's the tricky bit when you do get like a flat like this. It's like if that sealant doesn't work, she tried to get that tyre pumped up, but obviously it didn't work. It's getting flatter and fatter. You're going to see it bounce around a lot more. I mean, and at some point she's going to have to commit to trying to change it, wait for a mechanic. But yeah, it looks like it's lost like a lot of air, and that's hard to ride. Particularly, you can see her going over some of the bumps right now. That does not look good for Jackie right now.
Got that fixed and then bridged back up to the ladies, and she looks great. There's not really much pain on her face. She looks like she's barely breathing. Feels like to me like she's comfortable and riding within herself, which is very important given that this is an Ironman and her first one at that.
Yeah, Rini, for sure. I mean, obviously her composure through the whole scenario of that mechanical was very mature. For one, obviously we know when we heard from her earlier that she's willing to risk it.
For the biscuit.
Yes, definitely willing to blow up was her words. So, yeah, and I think the next time check that we see, it's going to be interesting to see if, I hate to say it again, if that front group is more cat and mouse again, and that's going to allow that second group to catch back up, because we've seen that go from 3 to 4 minutes. So if they can duck down closer to that 3 minutes, I would say it's a little bit more tactical. And, when we look at what's happening in that front group with Kat, Laura and Losves, it's really interesting, because I feel that Kat is doing a lot of the work at the front. I feel like Losves is also doing quite a lot of work at the front. And I feel like maybe at the end of the day, we're going to say that Laura Philipp rode a little more tactically smart and let everyone else sort of like take charge. Not that Laura Phillips hasn't been on the front, but if we were going to go back to percentages, I definitely feel that the percentages are a lot higher for the other two athletes.
Laura Philipp is still right there. They're both going to be in transition together. Remember, this is a long transition, but Kat will have the transition to herself for a moment.
No, she definitely will. And I mean, if we go back and think about how the race like happened. It's like when we looked at like around like 60K, I think the predicted bike finish time was around 4:30. And now this back half, they've made like probably 10 minutes up. So, you know, that's just shown you like how tactical I think it was at the beginning and now how aggressive it's getting. And you know, Kat has been the aggressor from the start of this race. She's the one that sort of has controlled everything, and she's continuing to control it as we're about to go. We'll go through the tunnel, that nice dark tunnel, and then on the other side of that is the actual transition.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's just about to enter that tunnel, and then she'll be exiting the other side and into transition. But yeah, Kat Matthews turning up the heat at the end of this bike ride. We did hear from the ground that there is a little bit of drizzle in downtown Hamburg. So the athletes, that's great news for the athletes. It cools it off a little bit. You know, it's mild temperature anyway here in Hamburg, especially with the overcast skies, but it was high humidity earlier today, but it'll set up for a really fast run, and we'll see what Kat Matthews' bike split is. At this point, it's looking to be low to, 422, 423, somewhere around there, which is not a course record, but it's very fast. When Laura set her course record here, she rode around a 430, I believe. So ahead of that pace.
No, exactly, as she's about to get off her bike and head into T2. Let's see how far the gap is when we have Laura Philipp hitting that dismount line. But yeah, she's going to get off, run the 550 yards.
Through the Ruby T2.
And she looks, yeah, look how smooth she looks. I mean, she's being aggressive, just like we thought she was going to be.
And we'll have a look at that Wahoo Element Bolt time. That's 4:22.45. Very fast riding from Kat Matthews.
Well, considering how the prediction was 8 minutes slower
in the first lap.
Yeah, so that's unbelievable to be able to make up that much time in really a short amount of time, because it was like, you know, even when we hit the halfway, she still was looking at about that 4:30 to 4:28. So significant effort by Kat Matthews.
And now we see Laura Philipp making her way to Ruby T2. And she will dismount her bike right before that dismount line and head into that long transition. You see Kat with her helmet still on. She knows it's a long run all the way down, 550-meter run. Her legs look great. There's no limping. There wasn't any, it didn't look like there was any discomfort.
And there was Loveset, who's transitioning right now into the Ruby Transition 2, where she will rack her bike and then she will run those 550 metres to get to her run gear.
And it looks like 53-second gap from Kat to Laura Philipp, and then a 1:23 to Solveig Loveset.
Over 10 kilometres.
Yeah. So
that's how much time she's put over both of them in 10 kilometres.
Kat wants this win. She's not here to play around. And never is. Every single race she shows up, she comes with her A game and she puts out just an incredible effort. No surprise that she is on a mission here again today.
And this first part of the run course, you can sort of get out of sight, out of mind quite quickly, because they're going to head out and then you go around the lake area, and then you quickly make a right-hand turn, and then you'll end up underneath one of the bridges to go underneath the road where they were cycling. So if she can get out of this transition before they even enter, but you can just see Laura Philipp coming up right now. They're just going to be exchanging as she's leaving. Laura Philipp's going to grab her bag, and then we're going to see Kat Matthews head out as she puts the rest of her gear back in and then hangs it up, and then she is off.
Kat Matthews heading out onto the Hoka run course, exiting Ruby T2. It's a 26.2 kilometre run, of course, 47 Sorry, that's wrong. 26.2 miles. That's 42.2 kilometers.
I'm sure the athletes don't
4
want to run
laps.
42.2 miles.
And it says it's rolling. It's pretty flat. I mean, of course, there's a couple of bridges and so forth, but for the most part, fairly flat, very fast course. But Kat Matthews looks great from every vantage point.
And basically, they're running around like the lake. So the start was just on the other side of those Hoka run banisters, and then she's going to make another right, and then she'll get out towards the other side of the city as she comes past I think, is that Laura?
Laura Philipp only 31 seconds back.
Yeah,
so Laura had a very quick
transition.
transition. So it was 54 seconds coming in. Laura made up a little bit of time.
But I think Laura put socks on after the swim, where Kat put socks on during the transition. So I think that's where the difference was.
Yeah. I wonder if Kat knew that. Like, I need to get a little bit of a gap on Laura Philipp. She also looks fantastic. She has a slightly slower turnover than Kat Matthews, but
that's because she's taller.
A little bit taller. And we also have to update you. We just got word that Jackie Herring actually pulled out after about 90 kilometers. So she had that slow leak that she stopped and tried to put some CO2 in. It went flat again. She kept riding it, and then she pulled over and tried to remedy it, tried to fix it. But there were a number of gashes in her wheel, and she had to pull out. It's not repairable. So really sad for the defending champion, Jackie Herring. She was riding along really well in that second group with Annie Reichman and a couple of other women. And she will, I'm no doubt, be looking at the calendar and figuring out where to find another Ironman event that she can add to her schedule. But yeah, bummer for the Jackie Herring fans.
Yes, and she did mention that she had good legs. So she will be very, very disappointed with that, but at least she knows she has good form and she can carry that momentum on to her next race. And I'm glad that we got to see Laura Philipp because she looked really good. Danielle Lewis right now is just going under that bridge where she'll make that left-hand turn, and then she'll make a right-hand turn and head out on the Hoka Run course.
We are currently on Laura Philipp. She's sitting in second place, just 27 seconds behind Kat Matthews. Kat, of course, with that surge at the back end of the bike. These two swam together, biked together, along with Loveset, and now separated by only seconds. Loveset falling back a little bit, was 2:30 back at last check, but Laura Philipp definitely on the hunt. Kat Matthews on screen right now leading this race, and at the last time check, there was still 30 seconds between her and Laura Philipp. So those two holding steady right now as we move to almost the halfway point. We're at about 19 kilometers. I mean, the momentum's been in Kat Matthews' favor since she put that surge in on the bike and got that little gap. It did seem like Laura Philipp was going to run up onto her. It seemed like the momentum was shifting back to Laura's favor, and with a fast transition, a fast first lap, that time was coming down, but now it seems like it's shifted back to Kat Matthews. But again, we've seen Kat Matthews in the late stages of Ironman, and granted, a lot of the Ironman that you see this happen in Texas. I've seen her slow to a walk. Even in, the last time she did Texas, the last few aid stations, a couple of times she slowed to a walk, made sure she got her hydration in, made sure she kept her body cooled. That won't be an issue here, but it's still a possibility. She's gone out really hot. So anything is possible, as we know. This is Ironman, but Laura Philipp needs to continue to push this pace.
This is like becoming more divisive. Okay, so I'm looking at Kat Matthews right now. Rinny, do you think that inside shoulder just looks a little more dropped than normal? I mean, if I was going to be super critical and find if there's something that's not quite right now, that just looks different to what we've seen earlier. This is a performance that's going to go down
for the ages.
Yeah, and it's going to be like history making. It's game changing. There's so many factors that make this race so exciting. You have the two best and the two fastest athletes in the world.
Oh, look at that. You can
yeah.
see Laura in the background there. That's 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's only going to spur her on. And the crowd is
Going bonkers.
they're going to go bonkers. Like when they get into those crowded sections, she's going to use that energy because everyone's going to go. And you see the facial expression on Kat Matthews. She definitely is like, she's pushing hard. There's no doubt about it. And if she gets like a couple of splits, and there's going to be a point where they are going to like see each other again, and it's going to be so close. So we talked a little bit about grit.
Oh, here it is. MJ, you see, this is the moment, and this is where Kat Matthews, we know she's gritty. We know she's tough. She is not going to let Laura Philipp run right past her. She is going to use every ounce of her being to keep her in her sights and hang on and hang on and hang on for as long as she can. But this is Laura Philipp now. She's taking a gel, so she is calculating. And this is important. So this moment here, taking a gel, making sure she's well fueled before she comes up on Kat's shoulder. Kat's got to know she's coming. She's got to know she's just back there, just by virtue of the excitement from the crowd around her. But Laura Philipp now has to be careful and calculated as she runs up on her shoulder, and she needs to try and make a decisive pass. Again, Kat's just so tough. I don't think that she will just let Laura, I mean, of course, no one's going to let anyone do anything. All these women are super tough. But I know Kat Matthews, and I've watched her race closely for a number of years now, and in admiration. And you can see her cooling the body, getting ready for this battle. And this is what we've been hoping for all day. This moment.
We didn't think it was going to come this late. We thought that it would be at the start of the Ironman marathon, but no, it's coming down to the last 8 kilometers, and this is going to hurt both athletes.
You see that change in pace? You see the change in pace?
Oh, yeah,
now?
she knows.
Laura Philipp.
She knows.
That's a definite change in pace, and you see the immediate response
by
Kat Matthews. Kat Matthews is matching that pace, and it's just a matter of how long. So Kat Matthews is now like on the ropes, right? She was already running as fast as she could. Laura Philipp was bridging the gap. How long is Laura Philipp going to have to hold this pace to break that rubber band? Kat Matthews just has to keep holding on, and hope and pray that Laura Philipp is going to break and have to slow.
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. And I mean, you are seeing a little bit of separation. And, you know, as an athlete, it's like you don't want that elastic band to snap as like Kat Matthews just got to concentrate on good form, just like focus in right on her shoulder or her back, wherever it needs to be. Just follow, dig deep. But, you know, it's still 8K.
You got to battle for 8K.
It's
5 miles.
Yeah, it's like, is this going to be the point where, you know, you break each other, or it's like the gap goes, but that toll could be too much for Laura Philipp as well.
But the other thing is Laura Philipp has to keep her foot on the gas right now. She cannot slow up, give up one iota of speed right now. She needs to just keep pushing, because Kat's going to keep pushing for the next 8 kilometers. So this is going to be a super painful last 7.5 kilometers they have to go right now of this race. But Laura Philipp, man, she has put on a masterclass of this run leg. And again, Laura Philipp has raced here in Hamburg before. She is the local girl. She's won this race before. But it does look like Kat Matthews is now starting to give up a little bit of time. Right now, that lead is out to about 14 seconds, but Kat Matthews is just lurking back there. This is just incredible racing. Again, look at that race clock, 7:37:08. We're on track for just ridiculously fast marathons and a new Ironman record time as well. And now in the closing few kilometers, 3 kilometers to go now for Laura Philipp. She's still sitting around 20 seconds up on Kat Matthews. And yeah, you kind of see her sort of slipping around a little bit with those super shoes in the wet and uneven surface there. But this is just a race for the ages. I mean, I can't overstate how incredible this performance is from both Kat Matthews and Laura Philipp today. Laura Philipp now in the last half a kilometre, she is within 2 minutes of crossing that finish line, so it's going to be well and truly a performance for the ages.
I have nothing but respect for all these athletes, but particularly going out. Oh, look, there's the first amount of emotion that we've seen. She gives a little high five to the bike
biker
leader.
And there she goes, making that final turn onto the magic carpet. The 2025 Qatar Airways Ironman Hamburg European Champion is Laura Philipp. Here she comes. Kat Matthews is on her way to the red carpet.
And, you know, she fought hard all day. She was the aggressor, had a fantastic swim. I think it's the first time I've ever seen her lead a swim basically out of the water. You know, aggressive on the bike, particularly that last 10K. You know, she threw down. She did everything she could to get to the finish line in first place. Unfortunately, Laura Philipp was just that little bit better today.
And that's what it is. Just on that day was a little better. But here's Kat Matthews, second place at the Qatar Airways Ironman Hamburg. In third place here today, Solveig Lubset will come across the line with that last place on the podium. She looks pretty happy coming down that finish chute.
I'm with our champion, a winner again here in Hamburg. She won in 2022, our reigning Ironman world champion, but it feels like it was another world championship today between you and Kat.
Yeah, it was absolutely mental. Like, I think we were glued together for like the entire race, and I imagine for like 8 hours, like being glued together. And yeah, it was super tough. And for a long time, it looked like Kat would run away with it. And I just tried to be calm, be patient, because you know, a marathon is a long game. And luckily, it paid off that I let her go a little bit and just did my own thing. And I really, you know, that the crowd was crazy. I hope you guys could see it from back home. Like, they were screaming so loud. I think it was really next level cheering here on the course. So that definitely helped me big time to try and, you know, go all out on the last lap. And when I overtook Kat, or first caught her, I couldn't believe it. And right now I'm still speechless. I'm close to, you know, need to lie down. Like, I'm really done, but also like super, super proud.
Laura, 8:03, potentially, well, firstly, the fastest time for an Ironman in the world, beating Kat's 8:10 just from the other day, 8:10. But it could have been sub-8 without our long transition.
Yeah, I think so, Hamburg. If you want us to go sub-8, you have to do something about the long transition zones.
But a phenomenal battle. You must be extremely proud. This positions you very well for October.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I said beforehand, it's still very early, but of course this is like a big boost, and I will take it, and yeah, hopefully recover well, and then continue to build strong towards Kona in October.
Solveig Lovseth, 8:12.28. Kat Matthews in 8:05.13. And we had Laura Philipp, 8:03.13. Sub 240 marathon. Kat just a tick over 240 in the marathon. Honestly, these women were something else today. For Ironman World Champion McKeely Jones, I'm Marinda Carfrey. Thanks for watching Qatar Airways Ironman Hamburg European Championship.
This copyrighted broadcast of World Triathlon Corporation may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without express written consent of World Triathlon Corporation.